Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here. Weekly reset for May 9th is upon us. Iron Banner will be here in about 7 hours, but as it is not here yet, you've still got a few other things to do. So let's jump into those and see what the week has to offer. First thing, the weekly Nightfall strike is the Cerberus Vae III strike. This is the one where you fight Valis in the end. Modifiers we've got are Berserk, and as we have Cabal, that's going to be fun with all those phalanx. Got fresh troops, likely have some taken throughout the strike, mixing it up a little bit. You do have Airborne, so jump up in the air, get that bonus damage, always beneficial for grenades and rockets and things like that. And speaking of grenades, you have Catapult, so lots of grenades will be coming your way. Keep throwing those if you've got ones like the Thermite Grenade or Spike Grenade or things like that that will have continuous damage. Throw those, and then if you're behind cover, you can jump up in the air, let those do some damage while you're in cover, get that extra bonus damage. But all in all, I don't think this one's going to be too bad. With Airborne, bring something like Gjallarhorn with you. You can fire those rockets at the boss in the end once his, health bar comes up and start dumping that damage into him. Just make sure you're in the air when those rockets hit. Get that bonus damage. You can melt him down pretty quickly initially, so it shouldn't be too terrible of a strike, I don't think. Definitely not as bad as last week, for sure. Secondly, we've got the Siva Crisis Heroics. Modifications here, we've got our Void Burn, so bring all your Void weapons with you. If you've got those Void primaries by now as well, those should be helping out. Of course, just watch out, some Void damage can melt you pretty quickly as well. Do have Brawler, which is good in case anything does get close. Unfortunately, you've got Chaff, so things may get close and you might not know it. So, especially on those Cabal strikes, if a Phalanx gets close, you're probably not going to want to punch it. Other things, yeah, punch away. Probably can do a lot of damage, but just be careful what you go to punch. May not go over that well. So just keep your head on a swivel, and these strikes shouldn't be too bad. For the weekly story playlist, we've got the Venus and Mars missions when it comes to Vanilla Destiny. So basically round 2 of Vanilla Destiny, and you've got Chaff, so unfortunately no radar. But we do have Airborne, so of course if you need to melt down any large chunk of enemies, if you need to melt down a major, bring those rockets with you again. Most people do have Gjallarhorn from the quest by now, so it's a good thing to use. Jump up in the air, fire those rockets, and get that bonus damage. Works pretty well. As for Challenge of Elders modifications we've got this week, our first grenade kill bonus, so use those grenades all that you can. Any of your most offensive grenades will be good. And this will work pretty well because you do have the Airborne bonus, so throw those grenades, something like Thermite, something like Spike, Void Wall, whatever you got, anything that's going to do a continuous little set of damage, and jump in the air once you're in cover and have thrown the grenade, and you can get that bonus damage to kill those guys quicker. And you've also got fresh troops, so you're going to have a mix of take in and a few more majors in there likely. Your bosses are going to be round 1. You've got Psylocke the Defile. This will be the Taken Knight for the Hive. Then you've got the Pilot Servitor, which is going to be regular Fallen. This one's not too bad. And then, of course, you've got the Seditious Mind on round 3, which is Taken Vex. Still, with Airborne, you can put some quick damage into any of those bosses with some good rockets, so save up something you've got, like Gjallarhorn, of course. I keep saying that for Airborne, but it is a really effective thing to use when you've got that Airborne perk. So bring that with you. Those bosses should go down quickly, and with Grenade Kill bonus, you can probably get this one taken care of, get a pretty good amount of points out of this week. Finally, we've got the weekly featured raid. You guys know this is going to be King's Fall on the Dreadnought. Your challenges are first the War Priest, where you just need to have a different aura holder every time for the damage phases. So if you 2-phase them, just 2 different people. If you have to get to that 3rd phase, then just make sure you cycle through so a 3rd person does not hold it. Now, if someone dies, that does get passed on to another person, so just be aware that if it does, that you may need to be aware of who gets that one, or you may just want to wipe in case you're not sure who actually gets it. So just be aware on that one who is holding the aura, and if somebody dies, be very, very aware in case it transfers to a new person. Secondly, you've got the Golgoroth challenge. This is the one where on each damage cycle, every person has to hold the gaze. So you have the first person pull the gaze while you guys are doing damage. About 10 seconds in, send that second person off to pull the gaze. Then you just alternate it back and forth for each damage phase. Keep doing that until he's dead. Pretty straightforward. Most people seem to get this one. It's just getting that timing down and making sure you guys don't die from Curse Thrall and things like that. But a little communication goes a long way in this one. Finally, you've got the Oryx challenge. This is the one where you need to have that 16 bomb detonation. So you need to store up those bombs from the ogres all in the same spot. And then on that 4th round, or in case, somebody, gets to one or you don't detonate one, at least 16 bombs. You can detonate you can detonate up to 19 if you want to. Usually they'll be on that 5th round. And if you just make sure and detonate them all together so his health goes from full to 0 in one full detonation, then that's the best way to do this one for challenge mode. Finally, we come to Miss Tyra Karn for her artifacts. Two are kind of meh, but the third one is definitely worth talking about. First one we've got is the Memory of Yoldor. Intellect and Strength roll here, only about 82% stats. Remove Sprint cooldown penalty, pretty straightforward. Secondly, we've got the Memory of Silumar, a 79% roll on this Discipline stat, so really nothing great. But in the Crucible, resistance to damage over time attacks is greatly increased. Things like Thorn or Burning Grenades, you'll take much less damage from those. But the artifact of the week is the Memory of Scory. We know this is a great one. Kills recharge nearby ally supers much faster. Basically, it's half the time if you keep getting those kills. And it's a 99% stat roll on Intellect and Discipline. So if you don't have this one, definitely pick this one up this week. One of the best ones you can ask for in a group of PvE activities, in raids. A good thing to have across the board, so definitely one you're going to want to get your hands on this week. So if you don't have Scory, and definitely if you don't have one with this good of stats, pick this up. It's definitely a good one. Shiro 4 has got his Iron Lord bounties for the week. First we've got Shock at Toomey, use arc damage to kill the Fallen. You've got Anti-Splicer, complete patrols in the Plague Lands. We've got Archon's Forge Captains, and then Archon's Forge Vandals. So you can go into Archon's Forge and get most of these taken care of, run around, pick up those patrols, you know, not too shabby, just get those little beacons, get 10 of those, and then just use arc damage while you're taking care of Archon's Forge and knock those out together. Not too shabby, and again, this is where you get that Thorn bounty in case you still don't have it. For Zavala's bounties, we've got the first two standard ones we know are always going to be there. Strike Elite, getting those gold, silver, and bronze medals. Then we've got that Sunrise bounty for that Icebreaker chance, in case you still don't have it yet. Gold tier medal on a Nightfall, basically finish it within 30 minutes with that score, should be good to go. And then finally you've got Cleanup. Get 150 enemy kills with your fire team during a Siva Crisis Strike to earn Brutal Efficiency medals. So, got to get 150 enemy kills, does mean the strike actually has to have that many enemies in it. Some have more, some have less, so just pick this one up and you'll knock it out eventually. As for your Crucible modes, we know Iron Banner is going to be live in about 7 hours or so from when this video goes live. But these are probably going to change once it goes live, but I'll show you what they've got now, and then just know one of these is going to turn into the Iron Banner Mayhem Clash mode. It could be the weekly mode of Zone Control. This is your 6v6, very objective-based mode. You got to hold down those points, those zones to make sure you can accumulate those points, but you don't get points from kills. It's all about holding those zones. As for your 6v6 modes that pair up with Shaxx bounties, you've got Control. So this is going to be a good old team objective. You know, more zones you hold, more points you get per kill. And then you've got Supremacy, defeat your opponent, take their crest, also 6v6. Now Shaxx has both of these bounties, which I'll cover in a bit, but one of these is likely to change into Mayhem Clash for Iron Banner in a few hours, so look for which one changes, then you guys know. Not sure if Shaxx bounty is going to change with it. We'll just have to see. As for the Shaxx bounties for the week, as I said, these right now may change when it comes to Iron Banner going live, but they may stay what they are, and it may just be the weekly featured playlist. But this week we've got a Hunt for Glory, you've got Supremacy as your first one, 7 match completions, 50 primary kills, 30 kill credits, and 20 crest denied. And then we've got Control, so taking Control, 7 match completions, 30 advantage kills, basically that's kills while your team is leading, 15 zone captures, and then Beeline basically means within a match you are the first one to run there and pick up Zone B. So basically for a couple matches, just skip Zone A. Usually if you run there, a couple of your teammates will go with you. And if you're for the first one to get B, you'll knock this one out pretty quickly. Last but not least, we've got the Crucible Quartermaster and the bounties here. So first we've got Point and Shoot for those auto rifle bounties. We've got Eye on Victory for those scout rifle bounty. Get those scout rifle kills. Short range devastation, shotgun kills. They'll never see it coming with those sniper kills. And then of course, good old choose your moment, heavy weapon kills. Going to be doing some PvP this week, so depending on what your favorite weapon type is, knock some of these out, get some, you know, high ranking weapons, especially if you're going after specific ones, and you never quite know what you're going to get. So pick up some of these bounties and you'll be good to go. Alright Guardians, well that pretty much wraps it up for me for the week. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Iron Banner, as I said, will go live here in about 7 hours or less once I get this thing posted. So look for my review on the inventory there when Lady Aphrodite is sitting out there in the Iron Temple. Other than that, I'll be working on the Nightfall solo. I'll get that one up hopefully relatively soon. And then work on some Challenge of Elders and a couple other things. Probably doing the raid sometime this week. I'll see if I can find a time to try and schedule that one. Find a good good time to work on that one with you guys, and looking forward to it. So have yourselves a good week. Enjoy. Of course, subscribe to the channel to keep the content coming your way. Hit that alert bell if you need those notifications to know when new videos come up. And other than that, drop a like below if you enjoyed, and leave a comment if you got any questions. Talk to you guys soon. Lots to do this week, so have some fun.